Hi, good morning. Welcome to today's pre-market video. It's going to be a fairly lengthy video, so let's get right into it. And in case you're just joining, thank you for everyone who signed up to the channel. I've had a couple of a decent bump in new subscribers. I do this every day, Monday to Friday, as long as the Nigerian market is open. It comes up 9:30 a.m. Nigerian time because the market opens at 10 a.m. Nigerian time. So just to give a feel of how I'm viewing the market, stocks that may be in play just before market opens. I have a 15-minute time limit with LinkedIn. This video also goes up on my LinkedIn. So let's get right into it. Now, thank you for everyone who's liked, shared, subscribed. Please continue to do so. It helps grow the channel. We've been growing, but I think there's still so much room to grow. We're in a market where I don't know. I mean, we need what? I don't think there's any channel. I may be wrong, but I know there probably a couple of people who have maybe 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. I need to check. I don't really check other channels and all that. But I think there's still so much room to grow because we're in a market where there are millions of possible potential investors or people who just want to get better with money. And I'm just wondering, let me know. I typically don't do a lot of personal finance content stuff because I find it boring. I did it for 5 years of my life, and when you think of the fact that look, your average working career is 35, 40 years. You do 5 years, same thing. I don't want to do that. But if that's something you're interested, let me know. So maybe there's a bit of a downtime with the results I'm expecting for the NGX. So the Saturday, maybe I do it a Saturday morning or Saturday evening, kind of on teaching basics, elementary concepts. So if I get 20 comments in this video or on this video, then I'm going to do it. If I don't get 20 comments, you guys would have to cross over to TikTok because that's what I'm going to do for TikTok. As always, please note, content is not investment or trading advice. They are not stock picks. They are not trading signals. Please do your own research. If you want to learn technical analysis, there's a solid group of people who are in that space. You have the likes of Crypto Senko. You have the likes of John Kelvin. You have the likes of Chigbo FX. They're all on Twitter. So they're great guys, amazing people who are technical analysis, and they also combine a bit of fundamental analysis as well. So I lean more towards fundamental analysis, technical analysis for my own personal use, but you need to do your own research, whether it's technical analysis, fundamental analysis, combine that with macros. Do that and pick. So please always note that this is not investment or trading advice. Criteria for my watch list: price and volume movement, corporate actions, actions and announcements by firms, especially those I think may have positive or negative effects on the stocks. First on my watch list is Zenit Bank. There was a sharp dip yesterday, and let me just see if I can lay my hands on the numbers that I have. But I noticed it was a dip because company came out with a notice yesterday that look, we may not release our H1 2025 results on time as expected. We'll send them to the CBN. We don't know when they'll be out. They've reached out to the NGX for an extension and all that. So maybe that was the reason for the dip, because the stock opened yesterday at 72 naira and 30 kobo, closed at 67. I mean, just doing the math in my head, if you move from 72 to 67, that is that looks like a what, 5% move. 10% of 72 naira is 7 naira and 20 kobo, right? So the stock closed at 67 naira. That's definitely over 5%. So that's a sharp dip, so to speak. But yeah, we could call it a sharp dip. I mean, the 5-ish% drop. So there was a sharp dip yesterday. Who knows if we could see a continuation of that dip? I mean, anyways, I think this stock is in an interesting space. The only cloud you can use our watch is we want to see how impairment provisions will shape out. And if you're on LinkedIn, I suspect that this video is probably going to run for 15 minutes. If you're on LinkedIn, you may not get this video, or you may get an abridged version. Let's see how my time goes. So you may have a sharp dip or you may have a continuation of the dip, because a 5% dip is fairly significant. If you have another 5% dip, I mean, it starts to look interesting. I mean, typically this stock usually trades at par with where GTCO is, and you have GTCO is in the 90s range. Then post, once we sort out this overhang about provisions and all that, and I think H125 results, once we see those numbers, then I think this stock will start to catch up again with Zenit Bank. CAP dip yesterday. I think that the dip in CAP is part of a dip, or a part of a rotation, a broad rotation I've been noticing from big and mid cap stocks to insurance stocks. Insurance stocks have been trending the last couple of almost 2 weeks now, since news of the president signing the insurance act came out. So CAP what? CAP, I mean, opened yesterday at 71 naira, dipped to 64 naira. So 10% of 71 is 7.1, and so the stock fell what, 6 naira. So it's almost, this is an almost 10% dip, right? I think that, I mean, the stock is looking, typically with CAP you don't have large volume trades, you don't have much of a movement and all that. So stock, by my view, I don't have my notes in front of me, but it's not expensive at this point. But I think sub 50s, if you ever see it, then it starts to look attractive. So CAP is not in a bad price range. I mean, definitely 60 naira would be a buy. I've been in this stock for a decade, so I'm not buying anytime soon. I'm looking at other growth opportunities as well. But CAP at 64, yeah, it's starting to look interesting. ETI, Ecobank Trans International. ETI closed flat, but it traded large volumes. I'm seeing what, 12.7 million shares traded. I don't think ETI typically trades such large volumes. ETI, some of the news about ETI was due to Net Bank of South Africa exiting to some, selling their stake to an investor who and all that. So I think some people are wondering, is maybe I should position. I mean, fundamentally, if you look at this stock, the stock is trading way below its book value. But the challenge, just two key factors I think are holding this stock back. Okay, I'm looking at the volume trades. August 11, 29.2, August 12, 13.7 million. So 12.7 million is actually not very large. I mean, for a stock that as of August 11 traded 29 million shares, but I found those volumes quite large yesterday, so maybe I was wrong. But anyways, I'm definitely going to be paying attention to ETI. The stock is trading at it's close to its 52-week high of 38 naira and of 39 naira and 25 kobo. So it's actually inches from its 52-week high and all that. As I said, stock is trading way below book value. You calculate the book value. I'm not going to do everything here. You can't have all my content. My content goes. Some of my content has to go to my clients first. And so after I've given my content to my clients and then they pay for it, then I can now share some of that on my across my social media. But you can work out the book value, look at the assets, look at the liabilities, deduct that liabilities from assets, divide that by number of shares, and then you get the book value. So stock is trading below book value. Key challenges with this stock is Nigerian unit has been lagging. I think if they're able to turn around, you're going to see the stock double charge. They haven't paid a dividend for a while. My sense is that they're close to resuming paying dividends. I don't know when, but just my sense is they're close to doing that. So I think if you have one of those factors, and dividend resumption is probably going to be a quicker precipitating factor and the like. So whichever way it is, ETI continues to remain on my watch list. I should have a Spotify episode on ETI maybe before the week runs out, where I'll talk a bit more. I think for anyone who's looking at African operations, any company that has Pan-African spread or wide African spread, your ETI, your Airtel Africa, your MTN group, and we want to tune into their calls and all that. So that's why ETI is on my watch list. Holding McCall, UPDC, both of them players in the real estate space. They seem to be range trading. I think I need to do a Spotify episode on UPDC. I think this stock is grossly undervalued and all that. But I've done a YouTube video, so you want to check out the YouTube video. Holding my call. I have not done a video on holding my call. Maybe I'll do a Spotify episode on that. So they seem to be range trading. I know. I mean, for anybody who's a trader, then yeah, who's stocks that are range trading, you can easily do your 5, 10, 15%. And if you're dealing in large volumes, then that seems to be a way to go. Aradel closed flat, but Aradel had a few sub 500 naira trades yesterday, if I recall correctly. And so for me, Aradel, I know a lot of people have been asking. Aradel is a case of thy kingdom call. When are we going to see this stock trading and where its fair value should be? And I think I did a video on Aradel a few weeks ago. Whatever your valuation method, I mean, this stock should clearly be trading at what, 700 to 1,000 naira. But as long as, I don't know, maybe it's just negative market sentiment, maybe it's you're having big ticket transactions, maybe it's part of the broad market rotation from big cap stocks to the insurance space. Aradel at what, sub 500 naira starts to look interesting. I mean, Aradel at its current valuation isn't expensive, but obviously you want to, at least for me, my own view personally, once I see the stock at sub 500, it starts to look interesting. And on a mischievous note, someone had once asked me that why don't I come out clearly to stay buy, sell or hold. This is not a buy, sell or hold video. You go do your own research and all that. You can't expect me to be doing buy, sell or hold on every video. I mean, I might give out my opinions on certain videos, but this is not a buy, sell or hold thing as well. But Aradel, clearly from a technical perspective, Aradel sub 500, it starts to look interesting and the like. So I'll be watching out for Aradel in today's trading session. MTN Nigeria. This was the stock that surprised me yesterday's trading session, because I mean, I was seeing the stock trading at 411, 405, and I find it interesting. And by the way, you want to check out my Spotify episode. And sorry if it seems I'm sounding salesy, but really, I've covered a lot of this content across Spotify. I wish I could cover more content on YouTube, but once I start to push my YouTube in terms of content, then I start to see my views drop. So really, I've kind of maxed out the amount of content I can push on a daily basis on YouTube. At best, I can do a video in the morning, which is actually surprising. The views have been good, and then maybe I do a video post market close. That's 2 videos a day. But once I push beyond 2 videos a day, the views start to be poor. And yes, you might say, why should I care about views? I mean, views are important because views help with YouTube algorithms and all that. So you want to maximize for views and all that. So MTN Nigeria, I mean, I was shocked when I was seeing 4145 trades, because you would expect with such decent numbers, the stock probably should be in the 500 and ish range or so. So that may repeat itself today, and I think for a fundamental investor, then as I would always say, the stock starts to look interesting at that. I mean, MTN at whatever way you value the stock, MTN at the 450-ish range isn't expensive. 445 closed flat at 445 yesterday, but 4145 trades, I'm blown, because really, just doing your PE ratio analysis, do that, and you can see that clearly, it starts to look at like a bargain, a big bargain at that price point. So it's possible that may repeat itself. Like I said, I think we're seeing a broad rotation from big cap stocks into the insurance space. And that takes me to the insurance sector. Insurance stocks were most actively traded stocks by volume yesterday. I think 4 or 5 of the top 10 gainers were insurance players on the So you may see some further uptick or some profit taking in these firms. I mean, I don't think this momentum is stopping anytime soon. At least, even if the momentum stops in terms of price, maybe you see a dip in prices or profit taking in prices. The volumes I'm seeing, the volumes have been huge. So insurance stocks would remain on my radar for the day. Then still on the insurance sector, Icon is Universal Insurance, really large volumes. Universal Insurance has been trading large volumes since forever, even pre the announcement. But we've been seeing sustained large volumes. Prestige Assurance, fairly large volumes traded at sub 2 naira. Will it dip further or maintain support? I just did a Spotify episode on Prestige Assurance. You may want to check it out as well. Article should be coming up about an hour or two from now. Yeah, so my initial plan was to have the Spotify episode drop after the pre-market video, but well, I changed my mind. So and that happened. So you want to check out the Prestige Assurance video, Spotify episode on that. So if you have any questions, drop in the comment section. You can send an email to info@greentickertales.com. For more content, check out the Spotify, Green Ticker Tales podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Music. Check out all the links to the podcast. You can find all of them in my bio, and greentickertales.com as well. So thank you for listening, watching so far. Have yourself a great day ahead. See you at market close.